I never quite fit into spiritual communities, and this is my raw vulnerable truth. Welcome to episode 3 of the Desi Shameslay podcast, where we heal heartbreak, beat burnout, and slay shame together. I do not know about your story, but this is a bit of my story which leads into my spiritual awakening. Apologies, my throat is still a bit sick. I'm a bit sick. So I'm still recording this because I don't want to break our consistency. I still want to meet you every weekend. So bear with me with this voice and um, with me being still on the mend. Where do we begin? Where do we begin? So for me, okay, the first thing that I wrote was ambition. Ambition is really, really important for me. Ambition is a thing that fuels me because ambition is thinking big, and ambition is going big, and ambition is not stopping because someone says you cannot do it, but instead doing it because you can, and because there's really no limit to what we can achieve in our lives. And the only limit is whatever we let stop us. So there really is no limit, and there really is nothing that can stop us. So, ambition is the fulfillment of our life's purpose. Ambition is the fulfillment of our whole self. And that is where I want to begin this story because, oh my God, I am so pumped up because this is like the fourth or the fifth retake because something was going wrong and I had to arrive at this place. So, I'm very pumped up. I'm so pumped up to guide you through this journey. For me, when I was a kid, I used to be this kid who had really good grades, was really good in school, um, was kind of the teacher's pet, was adored by everyone for my academic performance. And although I felt connected to, I mean, I didn't feel connected. I felt loved with my performance. I didn't ever felt connected to the people around me because nobody, years later, some people come and tell me like how much they were inspired by me, and that means the whole way to me. So thank you for doing that if you're one of those people. But also a lot of um times what I experienced was people actually taking advantage of me being kind and of my abilities and gifts. Like people, like there were people I thought were friends, but they would only talk to me or ask me for help at times, and then I would see them like they wanted inspiration, but they were copying everything that I had written. I had spent hours and weekends and late nights and everything getting done and doing assignments and all of those things. And I would didn't have felt so hurt had they been honest to me about it. And just said, I just want to copy your assignment. Like that would have made me respect them more, to be fair. I don't respect people who lie to you. I don't respect that. And so my life story went like this. I'd never felt valued and loved by people of my age, by my classmates, by people around me. I had a lot of difficulty building friendships and maintaining friendships because I am a very intense person. Like I am a lot. And like I don't blame people for not accepting all parts of me, but I am a lot. Like I am spiritual, I'm practical, I'm very strategic, I'm very connected, very intuitive. Like, that's a whole freaking package. And most people cannot hold that level of truth from someone. And I didn't have a lot of friends whom I could share all parts of me, but I don't think I had anyone growing up. So I had this fear of belonging. Like, I would never, ever, ever belong. And my throat is going raspy. Which means this was a truth. Oh my god. I hope you like the comedic stuff I do at times. So if you do, just put it in the comments so I know that we're having, because I want this podcast to be fun for you and not just information and transaction. I just want you to feel like you're sitting across the table with me and I'm telling you my life story. I'm telling you what not to do. So it just helps if you drop a comment, especially if you're on YouTube. Like, drop a comment for me. So the first thing that I experienced when I went into spiritual communities was I have to minimize my ambition because I'm wanting more, and maybe this is the reason that I was burnt out, or maybe this is the reason my heart got broken. This is the But there was so much shame around owning my ambition. Like, I am an ambitious woman. I am not going to do what society told me to do. Like, I'm not gonna sit at home and just be a person of just have a degree for a name, a job for just like the title, but I wanna go out, I wanna make some change in the world, I wanna guide people, I wanna inspire people, I want to make that fucking change. I don't want to settle into an average marriage and just do the things that society expects of me. I love babies, I love married people, I love, I love relationships. So just putting that disclaimer out there. I love all those things. What I'm referring to is putting yourself in a box because you're on the timeline, because your biological clock is ticking, because you have the pressure to just be what society tells you to do. Otherwise, you're gonna repent for the rest of your life. And I think that's bullshit. Pure bullshit. I believe we can be whoever we choose to be. We might have some beliefs that are holding us back. We might have people holding us back. We might have traumas. We might have our own fears. And there's a way to break through. And that's why I'm making this podcast. Otherwise, for 3, 4 years, I had the vision and didn't execute it. So we can break free. Like, this is just a very live example of you, for you, of me breaking free. So the first thing is I didn't feel accepted for my ambitions in spiritual communities, and that broke me. And I minimized myself a lot. I didn't put things out there. I thought I'm asking for too much, charging what I want. Like, I just didn't feel good enough to be spiritual. Like, having ambition and being spiritual are not the same thing. It's like that's a constant message I kept receiving, especially being an Indian woman living in India, and people having this story of being victims and poverty, and because the British took it off from us, because everyone's taking it from us, and just not reclaiming what we have inherently within us and using it to power ourselves. That's ultimate victimhood, and I'm not here to play into that. My ambition is valuable, my fire is valuable, and I'm just gonna go with it. Number two, this is a personal favorite and a personal pet peeve. You will not hear me swearing a lot. You'll not hear me cursing a lot, but I do at times. Like, fuck, I do at times. It's like that. But I don't do name calling. I respect other people. I respect their boundaries. I respect them. And there's a lot of spiritual spaces, um, especially in India, where it's looked down upon if you curse anything. If you say, I recently received this message from one of the men who is in my followers, and he said, like, you're a teacher, Shubhangi, that you used the F word you should not have used. And I replied very politely to this man, like, I'm very happy and I'm very grateful that you are able to express what you feel, and I'm just not gonna stop doing something. And that's my choice. And like, you have the choice and the space to express how you feel. And I never felt so empowered because I owned my choice. Like, I'm fucking gonna say fuck all the time. I'm gonna say shit all the time. And not to demean someone, not to tell them that they are less or I am more, but just because this is one of my passionate forms of expression. Like, when I'm passionate, and I'm like, fuck this, let's get shit done. Like that fire within me. Like, I'm okay. This is something that I'll come to in the second, third one, which weaves together with this cursing. So the third one is a lot of spiritual communities will portray the picture of soft femininity, and this is an aesthetic that also goes into Instagram, which I'm not a big fan of. Like, I love organization, I love pretty things. Like, I used to do my nails, I'm still wearing makeup, and I love softness and I love femininity and just expression and beauty. But the feminine is also wild. The feminine is also passionate. The feminine is more than a woman who's okay. Um, I come from Indian background. I am a Hindu, and we have gods and goddesses. And what I have personally experienced in, and that makes me really sad to say this, but my guiding light, my higher power, the goddess who powers me is Kali, and I have her energy, I have her blessing, and I channel her, and I channel her work, and I channel her fire, and that's my gift. That's what I've received from her, and probably many lifetimes of worshiping her. But in this lifetime, she has bestowed me with this gift of rawness, of wildness, of untamed feminine energy, of like wild, just go get it. A lot of times, the warrior comes out of me, and a lot of passion comes out of me, and that's very activating. And that's a different form of energy than the soft goddess Parvati, which is also something I love. Like, I'm not against any of that. But we are diminishing the powerful aspect, the untamed, the wildness, the woman who runs with her hair wide open. Not just the woman who's okay. I have I have tamed my hair in this video, but the point is, I would be soft. I'd be sitting back, leaning back, and just have that soft response, which I think is not wrong. But if you always do that, you don't have that power, that fire. And Kali is that power and that fire. And my personal experience was whenever I would tell my friends that I work with Kali, or when I told them that I went to Calcutta to this beautiful Kali Ghat temple where we did a beautiful ceremony at midnight. It was all so synchronistically arranged. I want to go there again, probably these winters. I will. That's the first time I've said it out loud, though. I would love to, though. That's a personal manifestation out there. The universe might bring it back in some way. But let's stay on the topic. When I went there, I told a couple of friends, and they warned me. Uh, People go mad when they work with Kali or when they go to these temples and all those things. Which, in my personal opinion, like I might be wrong, but this is my opinion, this is my experience. I think a lot of people are scared of their own power, and they've also been brainwashed to believe that feminine has to present in a specific way, which is soft, which is nurturing, which I agree. Like, that is one of the aspects, but that's not the whole picture. It's like you have a pie and you're just taking 30% of it or 25% of it, just one slice, and you're leaving the rest on the table. Like, there's so many flavors to the feminine, there's so much juice to the feminine that you are not extracting even. And no wonder so many women in India feel lifeless. They feel devoid of their own feminine essence, because feminine is not just soft, feminine is also strong. But we've been brainwashed to believe that it is only a certain way. And we're here to change that. We're here to change that, aren't we? And the rawness leads me to point number 4. If you hear music from the 3D, if you hear Bollywood, if you watch movies or consume some form of media which is not spiritual, it makes you an unspiritual person. And I personally struggle with this a lot because I love spiritual devotional music. And in fact, before this I was just chanting Hanuman Chalisa, which I don't usually do, but I just felt like today is the day. And I needed some more masculine power in me. So that's what a girl was doing. But I do love Taylor Swift. I do love Akon. I do love Eminem. I do love. Trying to think of Indian. Um, I can only think of Arjit Singh, but a lot of different types of music. I love songs which might not be the most ideal good girl songs. Like those Mujra songs and all, I also like them. But I love different music. I love different movies. I want to feel at times. And a lot of it is demonized. And that's the reason, like, we have this separation between material and spiritual. It's like everything you do has to be very godly. Like, it has to look godly instead of be godly. I think that's the problem. Like, we are trying to look godly, but we're not being godly within ourselves. We're not being of service, of God, of spirit. This, this episode is my devotion to God. I'm not talking about God, but this is what I'm doing because this is my highest path. This is my highest service. Like, this is mine. This is my devotion. This is what I am here, I'm meant to do. And that is beautiful. And a lot of spiritual communities will be like, no, you're not talking about blah, blah, blah God or blah, blah, God. And I'm including religion with spiritual communities because I'll come to this. I'll come to this for sure. And something else I have seen with the feminine is the sexualized form of the goddess being an Instagram aesthetic, and that boils my blood to the core because we are spreading the message that okay, one, we were spreading the message that the feminine is soft and like blah blah, and then we're spreading the message that oh, she's very sexualized and just like open your tantric juices, open your sacral chakra, and that's not a very responsible way of presenting the level of power that the sacral holds. Like, I know that the reason this was limited as information was there's a lot of loss that can happen, there's a lot of hurt that can happen in people, and a lot of teachers are teaching it very irresponsibly, and they take the information, they come and study in India from someone who is of Indian heritage and just go out and put it on the web and everyone can have their interpretation and everyone's making it an Instagram aesthetic and fuck that shit because none of that is real. It just boils my blood how it just like how can people distill it down to a sexualized image? I just cannot understand that. Like it just boils my blood. Like that's the only term I can use. It boils my blood. I'm trying to hold my anger within me. Very well, very well. Mm. I think I missed a point, something I wanted to share, but I did not write it in my notes. What I also don't like about yes, religion versus spirituality. I had that in a different way. A lot of spiritual communities are becoming cults, and I don't have any shame in saying that because I I come from Hindu heritage, right? I come from India, and one thing that I know for sure that the most spiritual people on my land, what we believe in and what we said, we always believe in debate. We do not believe for anyone to take our word as God. Like even as a coach, as a mentor, when I work with my clients, I just ask like, does this feel good to you? Because what I may be sharing is like there's this whole picture and I have like people like my perception of the bigger picture and they may not see it and they have a different view and they have their free will and they have their choices. As a mentor, as a guide, it's my responsibility to show them the different possibilities, to show them the different aspects, to show them what could go wrong or what I perceive to be wrong or what I have done wrong or I've seen other people do wrong. so I can help them not to make the mistakes, but also to empower them to make their own choices because I'm not responsible for them. I'm responsible to them, but not for them. And they can always have that dialogue and conversation. And I don't want them to take me as God or guru. I'm not a God or guru. I am a guide. I'm here to guide you because in the end, I am a human. I'm having my own human experience, and I might be wrong about everything. I might be fully wrong about this podcast, but we wouldn't know until I give it a try, until I go all in with it. So we never know. We never know anything for full truth. We never know. Like, that's just the gist of it. We never know. We never know. And it breaks my heart because some people pretend to know all the answers on Instagram, and that's why it's just that, not just Instagram, but social media. And that's just the reason that everyone else thinks that special people are fraud because most people will, like, it just makes me so sad right now. Like, special people are being targeted because someone may present themselves as a know-it-all, or maybe like it's not them, but their communities are turning into cults, and it's just like this way or the highway. And that's not what spirituality was meant to be about. It was meant to be about your own self-exploration. It was meant to for you to go on your own path, for you to discover who you are so that you can go and move forward and go forward and have your own journey because we all are here to have our own journeys. I'm having my own journey. I don't fucking know all the answers. I can give you my exploration of that answer. I can give you my point of view of the answer, but is it the complete truth with the all of everything, like the whole picture in mind? Like, I have all knowledge of the universe. What's gonna happen? I'm not that villain from the movie Krish. Like, I'm just not that person. I'm just not that person. I know only what I know, and that's enough for me to guide. That's not enough for me to be God, and I'm not God. I'm not fucking not God. That's that's number six. And adding to that, there's this whole view of how a spiritual person should look. And personally, for a long time, I used to believe that I need to look spiritual. Like, I need to have crystals around me. I need to have tarot cards. I need to be dressing up a certain way and looking a certain way and maybe not wearing makeup. And man, that was hard. Recently, with this eclipse, full moon, I think it was a full moon. I don't even keep track of these things. I'm just like, something happened. I just journaled. Um, so I think it was the full moon. With that, I was talking, like, I had my cards out. I don't do any psychic readings anymore. But I had all of my cards out. I had all of my crystals out, and I was like writing down the stream of consciousness, whatever was coming through, and it was like, stop using these cards and crystals. Like, this is not your path. And I felt so scared at first. Something digested within me. I felt so scared at first because I didn't know how to be this person who was without the cards and crystals because spiritual word told me that this is the only way you could be you. This is the only way you could be successful. And I was quote unquote not successful in a lot of ways. But that was not me. That was not the most authentic, most beautiful, most honorable version of me. I did not respect that person who was pretending and hiding. And it took me a lot of work to accept that. And even when almost a week or 2 weeks back, when I was writing that, I was like, yeah, My best channeling comes when I'm in the moment, when I'm present with the person and I say things that might hurt them or trigger them, or that might not sound true with them, but it's gonna stay in their subconscious. And they are going to have the effect that this channeling, these words are meant to have. And I may never hear them reflect that, oh wow, you helped me. And that was the thing I had to make my peace with, that not everyone will come back and share that that they were helped by me. But it's still my duty to it's still my duty to deliver these messages. It's still my duty to do my dharma. It's still my dharma, my sacred duty to deliver, my sacred duty to show up, my sacred duty to be all of myself and bring all of myself and all my juice and all of my power and strength and mission and vision and gifts to the person in front of me. I'm always here to do that because that's my duty and that's all of me. And I think I went off on a big tangent, but the thing is, I don't have to look a certain way to be spiritual. And that was a myth that was really hard to break. I love wearing dresses. I love wearing dresses. This is one of my beautiful dresses. And I am spiritual, even though I'm wearing a very bright red dress and I'm having makeup and I'm having a beautiful bright red lipstick and just saying fuck all the time. I'm excited and I'm inspired. Um, yeah. Okay, my loves. The last two things that I felt like I didn't belong with was one, the ambition and the fire always made me feel like very strong masculine force. And I remember this one conversation when I joined my first um, certification, which was about becoming a life coach, a spiritual life coach. And I expressed to this woman, like, everyone here feels so feminine. Like, I'm just so masculine. I just feel like I don't fit in here. I don't belong here. And she said, like, maybe that's your gift. That's what you bring to the space. And over the years, I have, and especially this year, I've had this strong calling to own my masculine, to own my spiritual, like this gift of working hard, of wanting to work harder, of wanting to go deeper, like this drive, this vision, this focus, this. I am very masculine. I'm very driven. I'm very passionate. And maybe 5, 10 years down the line, it changes. Maybe when I become a mother, it changes. Maybe when I hit perimenopause or menopause or whatever, or maybe when my baby grows up to be a teenager, like I soften up. And right now, that's not the time. And I was sharing this with a couple of friends earlier this year, and last couple of months, it's been just so hard to not be projected upon, to for me to share like this is my calling, this is my path. But then again, not feeling seen for it, not feeling like, oh yeah, I see you, I honor you, this is your journey, I honor you, keep going, like this is not my path, this is yours. But I do honor and value and respect you for being in your masculine essence because I've fucking worked hard all of my life and it has landed me in places where I didn't even imagine I would go. Like last year, I had this beautiful intuition workshop and I was promoting this in one of the Facebook groups and I met this beautiful woman and she invited me to Kolkata and she helped me have a private ceremony in puja and Kali Ghat, and I just cannot imagine how all of this happened. But it happened because I work hard, because I care about my work, because I want to do more work, because more opportunities like this will open up. And I don't want to leave that on the table. I want to own who I am. And I'm owning who I am. I'm owning my masculine leadership. I'm owning my feminine leadership. I'm owning all the gifts that this beautiful masculine essence is giving me. Because that's why I'm here. That's why God, universe, source, creator, they made me this way. And I own the way that I am because this is me. And what anyone else in the spiritual community thinks, like how I should be or how I would be, that's not my truth. That's their projection of what they would probably might have done if they were in my shoes and they're thinking about their own story and answering my question because in the end, we are all guides. We're not God. And that took me a lot of lessons to learn to own my intuition, to own my power, to own who I am and not, oops, and not be this canvas people keep projecting or not be this person people are like, oops, here's my belief, here's my belief, here's what you should do, here's what you should do. No, like this is my sacred truth and I'm owning it, and not everyone will resonate with that, and I totally agree to that. Like maybe this is not your truth, maybe me sharing that triggers something in you. We can sit and have a conversation about that. I would love for you to hold space for you, but also I'm not gonna shrink myself again to fit in because fitting in has never been my signature style. My style has always been bold and explosive, so I'm gonna stay true to me first. I want to finish this with my final piece of not belonging is, and it ties with the divine masculine and the masculinity and the doing and the action taking. A lot of manifestation coaches are bullies, and I have no repentance or shame in admitting that. But I've been with those people. I have sometimes been that person myself, and I was a bigger bully to myself. And God, this is hard. Ah, just manifest it is not good advice. It is just like when you say don't stress or be happy, like toxic positivity, and I would say toxic manifestation. And there are so many people who would say, like, you do not have the thing that you want because you don't want it enough. And that's simply not true. Most of us don't have what we desire is because we don't feel safe in it. It's not that our desire is not there. We don't have the safety factor. Like owning that will make something go wrong. And whatever your desire is, and insert safety in that. Like instead of I want to just say the sentence like I am safe in my dream home. Does that feel true or does that feel a lie? Whatever it feels, wherever you're on the spectrum, it might feel more true than a lie. It might feel more like a lie than a truth. Wherever you're on the spectrum, own that. Acknowledge that. Like, yeah, this is really where I am. This is really who I am. And there's beauty in accepting where we are. And I read this beautiful quote, and I carry that very, especially in my heart for the last 3 4 years. And it said, my throat is having a moment. Bear with me, gals, ladies, queens. Bear with me as I remember the quote. No amount of self growth can compensate for the lack of self acceptance. The key is acceptance. The key is not growth. Owning where we are helps us push ourselves more, push ourselves deeper. I have a beautiful story with my mentor 2 years back on the same thing that I'll share with you sometime about growth and accepting, and a beautiful conversation we had. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to hear that story. But for now, these were my truths. These were the myths that I wanted to bust for anyone who is new to the spiritual world, to the spiritual industry. Almost I wanted to say that. You don't have to give up who you are to belong. You do not have to give up who you are to belong in the spiritual space. And if someone is forcing you to do that, run, my friend. Run. Because if you have to conform to someone else's version of what spirituality is, that's more like dictatorship, and that's not spirituality. No, no, no. That's not spirituality. Spirituality is the free exploration of who we are, of what our beliefs are, what holds us back, what our purpose is, what our mission is. And some people can give you a format, they can give you a guideline, they can tell you this worked for me. But in the end, if you do not take that action yourself, if you do not go deep with your own traumas, with your stories, with what shaped you, with your own truths, nobody can help you be truly spiritual because you're still living in trauma. So that is my invitation to you. Go explore. Like, where are you holding yourself back? Where are you still trying to fit in to a spiritual community, to a mold that someone else has built for you, and they're expecting you to be a part of that? With that said, we are wrapping up the episode 3. This has gone on for almost 40 minutes, about to be, as I wrap this up. I hope you had fun. I had a lot of fun, but also my throat is itchy. So send me some good vibes. But also I would love to hear what landed for you. Do you feel like a spiritual misfit? And what's your story? I would love to hear that in the comments. Or if you want a more private conversation, hit me on Instagram. All the links are down below, and you can get my free meditation too. My free meditation to opening your heart. And then also we have a beautiful practice with that. And the second thing I would love to offer you is a very spicy get over your ex in 15 minutes guided practice. So if you'd like that, the link for that will also be down below. And with that, I will see you next week in episode 4. Bye for now.